Hello, I am Orion. This is Cassie, and today I'm going to be talking about the benefits of omega 3, aka fish oil. Now, there's a lot of benefits to this very, very diverse and beneficial substance. The basics are that, well, omega 3 is an essential fatty acid, meaning you have to consume it in order for your body to function normally. There's two essential fatty acids, omega 3 and omega 6. Now, the reason why it is currently beneficial to supplement in omega 3 is kind of a backstory. If you go back about 2,000 years or so, people's eating habits were drastically different than they are today. An equal proportion, or if not a slightly higher proportion, of omega 3 and omega 6 were eaten because people lived near the water, they had a lot of fish, they had a lot more nuts. It wasn't as grain based or as land animal based of consumption as we currently have. Meaning that the average person was having 2 times the amount of omega 3 fatty acids as omega 6 fatty acids, which is how your body basically grew to depend on, or what your body grew to depend on. Now, currently, in your standard American diet, you consume an average of 12 times the amount of omega 6 fatty acids compared to omega 3s. Now, where the issue in this really lies is that because traditionally you had more omega 3s in the diet than omega 6s, the enzymes which break down both are the same enzymes break down both omega 3 and omega 6s, but omega 6 fatty acids get preference. So with you having 12 times the amount of 12 to 20 times the amount of omega 6 than omega 3, and they're given preference, more omega 6 is used, even if compared to whatever omega 3 you have is being used. Now, the issue in this is that while both are needed, omega 3s traditionally, by getting more of them, your body relies on them to a greater extent for a lot of different things. Basically, fats are building blocks, not overweight fat, the excess storage of calories by your body, but the cell walls of every cell of your body are composed of fats or phospholipids. So it's a certain ratio and certain types of phospholipids that combine to make proper cell walls. And omega 3s are necessary for cellular elasticity, the ability of the cell wall to flex and bend without damage. Especially beneficial in that regards is your cardiovascular system. Think about every time your heart beats, sends out a wave of pressure, your veins and arteries expand, and then go back to regular size. Well, if you don't have enough omega 3s, that leads to high blood pressure, blah, 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 blah. But that's just kind of why fats are necessary in getting the right ratio. Now, a couple different areas which I'll go through, just the major ones. There's a lot of other side benefits, but the major places where omega 3s benefit. I have my cheat sheet right here. Biggest one that I personally find important is brain. Specifically during pregnancy in the first 5 years, it is amazingly important for your brain's proper formation to get enough DHA, because that is the building block that comprises, I think it's 40% of the dry weight of your brain. That's a lot of your brain. So if your body's starving for omega 3s, your brain simply won't function properly. It just can't. So it leads to a whole bunch of different neurological conditions, generally just a foggy headedness. Most adults notice when they start taking omega 3s, thinking just becomes a little bit easier. So, hey, there's one benefit right there. Your brain functions better. Who doesn't like a better functioning brain? Well, I love a better functioning brain, probably why I take a lot of fish oils. And by the way, traditional standard dosing, I'll get into that in a moment. Another one, cardiovascular system health. For both blood pressure, basically your veins and arteries' ability to compress and relax and respond to every beat of your heart, but also your cholesterol levels are greatly affected by your intake of omega 3s. Taking fish oil is one of the best ways to lower high cholesterol. And it's also fairly, adverse reaction free, unless sometimes you get a burp up or you're allergic to fish. In that case, you don't want to take fish oils. You can look for alternative sources of omega 3, such as algae. But cardiovascular system health, who doesn't like your heart beating properly for a long time? Because once that stops working correctly, you kind of stop living. Small thing there. Let me see. Big one, which a lot of people really like, the inflammation benefits of omega-3s. Now, the reason why inflammation is so affected is both omega-3 and omega-6 are broken down by the enzymes. Omega-6 fatty acids, when they're broken down, a lot of their substrates, or their breakdowns, are pro-inflammatory substances that cause a lot of inflammation throughout your body. So things like inflammatory diseases, arthritis, anything that causes inflammation, a lot of joint pain, a lot of cardiovascular disease is caused by chronic inflammation. Not inflammation where you're swelling up to gargantuan proportions, but small inflammation that you may not notice every single day, but that over the course of time causes more and more and more and more damage to the cellular integrity of different cells and systems of your body. And omega-3 breakdowns, as opposed to omega-6, help with lowering your inflammation. Inflammation is supposed to be a response to damage, not something that always is happening. So you get injured, your body inflames to allow that system, or that area, to be protected, and then after the damage starts to be healed, it reduces the inflammation. Well, unfortunately, most people are living in a very, very inflamed state, which can cause like weight gain and just arthritis, joint issues, just stuff all over. One thing I would like to cover briefly is the dosage. Recommended dosage, people say, are like 1,000 milligrams total of fish oils. If you look on the back of the label of your standard generic fish oil, 1,000 milligrams of fish oil only has about 300 milligrams of omega-3. So you'd have to take 3 of those to equal 1,000 milligrams. So don't think just taking 1 per day will get you everything you ever needed. Generally, you have to take more than that. Plus, there is additional benefits to taking more than that amount, depending on what type of diet you normally have. Now, you may hear the caution of, don't take too much fish oil or you may increase your bleeding risk. That, as far as I've been able to research, is 100% completely unfounded precaution. There's no recorded case of omega-3s ever cause an increase in bleeding. The very, 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 very minute increase in bleeding that was recorded in some instances is less than if you took a single aspirin. Not too much risk, considering it's something that you require for life and get a lot of benefit from taking more of. And yeah, that's most of the gist of fish oils or omega-3s. Some other things to consider are that there are vegetarian sources of omega-3s like flax oil. But the difference is, most vegetable-based sources only give you alpha-linoleic acid. What you're aiming to get is EPA and DHA. So ALA, the parent omega-3, your body has to convert, but it is very difficult for your body to do the conversion. Women have, I think, about a 5% conversion rate, and men closer to 1%. So don't look at the vegetarian alternatives of flax oil as a omega-3 source. While they do have benefits, there's never been a confirmed specific omega-3 benefit from those, like the EPA DHA consumption. If you are vegetarian, you do or vegan rather, you do have the option of, there is a algae-based DHA, but no EPA. So you still can get the benefits of the DHA by having a vegetarian vegan lifestyle. I think that's most of what I was going to talk about for the moment. Yeah. If you have anything else, just respond, and I'll do my best to help you out, give you information, and hope you guys have a wonderfully healthy rest of your day, and hopefully a more educated, healthier rest of your life.